USA Bowling presents the Bronze Level Student Certification Program with Coach Fred Borden and the voice of men's and women's professional bowling, Denny Schreiner.
Hi everybody, I'm Denny Schreiner along with the Coach Fred Borden, and do me a favor right now, sit back and relax and get ready to enjoy yourself about learning the sport of bowling, because if you have half as much fun as Fred and I do each and every day competing in the great sport, well, you're in for a very special treat.
You know what's nice, Denny? Anybody can enjoy the game of bowling. No matter how big or how small. The very young children are bowling every day. We have 80-year-olds throwing that ball down the lane and bowling some very good scores. And what else is nice is it's a lifetime sport. You can do it for the rest of your life.
All right, let's not waste any more time. I'm ready for some action, Fred. I know that I need a ball to knock down some pins. So basically, what's the best way to choose the proper weight bowling ball, not only for myself, but for the fans watching today?
Well, first of all, Denny, if you go into the ball storage racks in the bowling center, just pick the bowling ball up. And just by mere handling it, you can tell this ball obviously is too light for me. This is a ball that we'd drill up for a youngster or an older person. Now we're going to pick up our own personal bowling ball. It's a 16-pound ball, and as you can see, this is a little harder to handle. Now, if it collapsed me down, obviously that would be too heavy. If you can throw it around real light, the way we did that yellow bowling ball, obviously that would be too light.
Okay.
Then you can check the weight of the ball. Above the finger holes, it says a 10, 11, a 12. That's the weight of the ball. The initials are right on the top of the ball. You can go to the ball storage rack. Tonight, down on the lanes, try the different weights of bowling balls. Choose a 10 and throw it for a while. Then go up to a 12 even maybe, and try that ball and see which one is best suited for your game.
I'll tell you what's great too is each ball has its own individual serial number, so if you get a ball that you throw some strikes with, you can go back each and every week and find the same one.
That's right, Denny. Just check the number, hunt on the ball racks, maybe hide it in a corner somewhere. Okay, and when you go back next week or the next night, you can go find that particular ball that really feels good to you.
All right, we've chatted a little bit, and about a 15.5 or 16-pound ball is just about right for my size, but I know it's also imperative to have the proper grip, because if you get to the line and you hang up, you might loft it. If you drop the ball behind the line, you're going to have problems with consistency there. So choosing a ball with a proper grip is very important.
Yes, then, and you can go to the ball storage rack, and the first thing we're looking at is the hole sizes, the finger sizes. We put the fingers in the ball, and we'd like the fingers to be a little bit snug, not too tight. We want them real sloppy. And then the thumb, we'd like the thumb hole to be a little looser than the finger holes, because the thumb's going to come out of the ball first, then you can part a little rotation on the ball with your fingers. So number one, the hole sizes.
All right, now I know also that we should talk about, should your hand be relaxed, should it be stiff or tight, or what's the best?
We want a nice relaxed grip, Denny. We're talking about a conventional grip where we put the two middle fingers into the holes up to the second knuckle, then we drop the thumb in the ball. And what we're looking at here is we're looking at the span, the web of the hand. Now, obviously if it's stretched out and too tight, it's not going to be very comfortable. And on the other side of the coin, we don't want it all hunched up and puckered up to where we're too narrow. We want something where the palm of the hand lays on the ball. So step one, get the good hole sizes. Then step two, get a nice grip where your palm of your hand lays on the ball, something that feels real comfortable. When you put your hand in that ball, your hand will know that it's right for you.
Coach, I feel like I've already accomplished quite a bit. I've now chosen a ball that's the proper weight and also one with the right grip. But I know one thing for sure. I can't walk into any bowling center in the United States and go out and try and bowl with my street shoes on.
Well, Denny, that's right. And you can walk right up to the control counter, and they have the rental shoes, the different sizes. Just ask for the size. And the bottom, the rental shoes are a little different than your own personal bowling shoes. If you'll notice here, we have leather soles on both the left and right shoe. And we have the white rubber heels so you don't leave ugly marks on the approaches. And we have the leather shoe so that your foot slides easy when you get up to the foul line.
It doesn't make a difference if you're left-handed or right-handed.
Well, yes, Denny, it does. If you're going to buy your own personal bowling shoes, you want to check the bottom of the shoe. The left shoe for a right-hander has the leather sole. It's designed to slide again when you hit the foul line. Now the right shoe has a rubber sole. That rubber sole, it's the traction foot, the step before the slide for the traction. So it is very, very important to mention that if you're a right-handed or left-handed bowler when you're purchasing your own bowling shoes.
Now I know this might sound like a silly question to most, but now I have a bowling ball and a pair of shoes. How do I get them from the bowling center back to my home?
Well, then you just walk right up to the pro shop, and there's plenty of bowling bags in there, all different shapes and sizes and colors. I'm sure there's one that you're going to like, and any bowler, there's a bag there that'll fit their style.
Coach, I don't know about you. I'm getting excited. I'm ready to go up and throw a shot.
Whoa, hold on just a minute, Denny. Before we do that, we better learn the proper way of picking that ball up off the ball return. We want to put one hand on each side of the ball so that that ball does not hit your hand coming out of the ball return. Yeah, that's not good for the game.
No, I'd have to smart a little bit.
Yeah. And you know, item 2 is cradle the ball in your left hand. We see people every day that pick the ball up with their hand. You know, that makes the hand tired. In the course of an hour or two of bowling, your hand gets a lot more tired. Not to mention the moisture that before you get over into position to throw the shot, the moisture it creates. So pick it up, cradle it in the left hand before you go over and walk and get into the position. All
right, the position, the starting position. We're ready. We're into the starting gate at this point in time. But Fred, for the players who have never bowled before, where on the approach do you start?
Yeah, good point, Denny. You know, we have all kinds of people, tall people, short people, long strides, short strides. But we have one system that's good for all people. And let's show you. Let's walk up here to the foul line. We'll show you that system.
Okay.
So we put our back to the pins, our heels about 2 inches in front of the foul line. And for a right-hander, we start on the right foot. Left-hander would start on the left foot. We take 4.5 brisk walking steps. That's 4 for the step and a half for the slide. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4.5. We turn around, and that's our starting position, Denny. It's that easy.
That looks pretty simple to me.
Yeah. Let's try it again.
All right.
Go up to the foul line. We put our heels to the foul line. Now, it's real important in bowling, you know, that we don't go over that foul line, Denny. We go over that foul line, we get 0 for the score. So now we have our heels to the foul line. Right-hander start on the right foot. We take 4.5 brisk walking steps, the half for the slide. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and we turn around, and that's our starting position.
All right, Coach, now we've ascertained how far we want to stand behind the foul line for our 4-step approach, but what about the lineup position, to the left or to the right at this point?
Well, Denny, we've walked back, and for a right-hander, we want to be around the large center dot, or maybe a little to the right of the center dot.
Okay.
Or for a left-hander now, it'd be just the opposite, around the center dot, or a little to the left of the center dot.
Well, now we've got the lineup position established at this point. Fred, do you teach any particular type of stance position for a player that's just learning?
Yes, Denny, we have 3 items of concern. We have waist down, waist up, and ball position. And waist down, what we want to do, we want to pull that right foot back for a little better balance, a little wider support system. Then we want to flex those knees. Take the stiffness out of the knees. Just flex the knees. Right foot back, flex the knees.
All right, that's not too hard, but what about waist up now?
Waist up now, what we're going to do there, we're going to tilt the spine just a little forward because we're going to go forward toward the foul line. Then we have ball position height. We like to hold that ball around waist high. A little lower if you're fast to the foul line, a little bit higher if you go slower to the foul line, but around waist high.
All right, now one thing we haven't talked about is, what about the hand position? Where should it be when you basically start your approach?
Well, Denny, it's something just like shaking hands. Put that hand out just like you're going to shake hands with the second arrow. We hold the ball underneath, real flat, and then turn the thumb 2 inches to the left. Or we also call it the money shot. When we swing back and through, we keep the thumb pointed in toward the wallet, back and through. The shake hands position or the money shot. Right here we have the hand position now. So now we have right foot back, flex those knees, tilt that spine just slightly forward,
right.
Ball position, hand position. Point that thumb at 10 o'clock.
Well, Coach, we've now worked on starting position, lineup position. We're balanced in our stance. It's time now to throw the jets on, and let's get started with the approach to the line.
Good, Denny. You know, we're here in a stance. We have the right hand, we're going to refer to that as the 0 position. The right foot is 0 position, so we have 0, 0. Now we move the ball and the right foot out at the same time. We call this the number 1 position. 1 with the hand in the ball, and 1 with the right foot.
And you move them both at the same time.
And we have them, the 2 1s, 1 and 1.
Okay.
Now we go 2 into the second step. So we have our second step 2, and the ball is right over top the right calf 2. Now we go into the third step. The right foot goes forward, step 3, and the arm goes up to shoulder height, number 3 with the arm. Now we come into 4. 4, the arm comes down as the left foot comes into the slide. So we have 4 with the arm in hand and 4 with the left foot as it's sliding. Now we go right from the slide right into the follow-through.
Looks pretty nice to me. Let's do it in regular speed, regular motion. Maybe we'll get a little different feel for it.
Okay, we're in our stance, in the starting position, 0, 0. We go 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, and 2 4s, and follow through.
Coach, you really think I can do that?
Well, sure, Denny, no problem.
I'll tell you what, I'm pumped up. I want to go ahead and bowl a game. I might shoot 150, 175. Who knows? I may even post my first deuce.
Yeah, and especially if you throw the first shot and you throw a strike. You know, you get a strike on the first shot, you knock all the pins down with 1 ball is called a strike, and a strike equals 10, plus the next 2 shots.
You really do have a positive mental attitude, don't you? You've seen my game, but what happens in frame number 2 if I don't get a strike?
Well, Denny, let's say you throw the first shot and you knock down 8 pins. Then you go up and you make those 2 pins that you've left standing. That's called a spare. You knock down all 10 pins with 2 shots. A spare also equals 10, the same as a strike. The only difference in the 2 is a spare is 10 plus 1 shot, where a strike is 10 plus 2 shots.
All right, I've got a strike and a spare. I'm heading for that 200 game, but I have a feeling somewhere along the line I might have an open frame.
Well, just in case, let's say you throw the first ball and you knock down 6 pins, and you miss the pins that are standing. It's called an open frame. You missed the pins that are standing, so you've left 4 pins standing. Or let's say you threw the first shot and you knocked down 8 pins and you missed the 2 pins that were standing. Again, it's an open frame. It's exactly the number of pins you knocked down. The score would be 8.
All right, we don't want to confuse you too much. Fred and I will go into scoring in depth in lesson number 4. Already a marvelous lesson here in number 1. You've learned how to select equipment, put on the right pair of shoes, pick up the ball, line up in the right position, in the proper position, and get all the way to the foul line. That's a lot.
More important than anything, however, is that you have some fun with the game of bowling, that you really enjoy it. Go out with your friends, your family, throw some shots down the lane, and really enjoy our sport.
And don't forget, coming up in lesson number 2, Fred Borden will discuss accuracy, how to improve it, and how to improve your game. That's right, accuracy, coming up in lesson number 2.